How was your day yesterday?
It was good. How was yours?
It was good. Pretty quiet. I think I'm fighting a little bug. I don't get colds very often. Good morning, Jojo. Can you hear us? Good morning. Okay, guys, so be thinking about this. ¿Qué comiste ayer? We'll try to answer in Spanish. ¿Qué bebiste ayer? Comiste, bebiste. So we have to figure out what verbs those are. Well, they end in ISTE, right? So they're likely going to be an ER verb or an IR verb. That helps. And since we're using past tense, ayer is our word for yesterday. So, ¿qué comiste ayer? O ¿qué bebiste ayer? Yo bebí café. Yo comí what did I eat yesterday? Yo comí. I don't even know what I ate yesterday. Isn't that funny? Arroz, rice. Yo comí arroz ayer. Y yo bebí café ayer. ¿Y tú? ¿Yo, Marian? ¿Qué comiste? ¿Qué bebiste? Brooklyn? Yo comí arroz, rice, y café. Agua, sí. Muy bien, yo, Marian, muy bien. Pollo y agua. Sí, muy bien. Té, té, T-E, té. So, Jamarian, can you unmute and read us your sentences? Por favor.
Ayer comí polo. Ayer um,
Bebí
baby agua.
agua. Sí, bebí. Remember, because we got comí and baby, right? We got that accent mark on that last I. Brooklyn, what are you working on? Okay, we have a different kind of day today, right? Y'all ready to start? Jamarian, kind of, sort of, not really. Yeah. Okay. Bueno, are you ready, Brooklyn? See? Okay. So here's what we're going to do today. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. We're going to sort of come together with all different kinds of verbs, right? So Vamos a practicar con los verbos en todas las formas. And the reason for this is because we need to, one, know what to use when we need to use it. And number two, we need to be able to like translate them or realize their meaning. Okay. We need to realize their meaning. Does that make sense to you guys? Give me a thumbs up. Yes? Jamarian? And if once we realize their meaning, you guys, then, you know, they become easier for us to use. So, you know, we're not living in a Spanish speaking place or whatever. So we just kind of have to like be really extra sort of intentional about how we do it. So we're going to do that today. Y también vamos a hacer la tarea if we get finished in time. And then just an FYI, because we're getting close to the end of the third 9-week period, I'll be sending like a note to parents if your grade is 70% or less. So that's just a note. Voy a mandar una letra a los padres si tienes 70% o menos. So that's just like a heads up. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull up my blank whiteboard, okay, which is just a document, but we'll pretend it's a whiteboard. But what I need for you to do is to look very carefully, okay, because you're going to have to do the same thing here in just a minute. All right, Jamarian, you got my screen? Okay. So I'm going to put 3 verbs up on the screen. I'm going to put leer, escribir, and we had the verb facturar, to check in our bags, right? Facturar. Buenos días, Arshad. And that's fine because that's what the book says and all of that. But I'm going to give you like the street word that means the same thing, right? And it's chequear. It's checking your bag, right? Chequear. And it's an AR verb. Okay. Everybody with me on these 3? So leer, to read, escribir, to write, and then chequear, to check something, like check your bags. Okay. So for example, what we're going to do. So Arshad, since you just joined us, here's what we're doing today. We're going to practice like all the forms of the verbs. Okay. So that we have a better understanding of what they mean, and then a better understanding, hopefully, of how and when to use them. Okay. All right. So we have done, you guys, in our Spanish lifetime, present tense, right? So, and I'm only going to do one example of each of these. Okay. And then I'll show you guys what I would like for you to do. So in present tense, if I had leer, to read, it's an ER verb. I would say, for example, yo, I would take my leer. I would get rid of the ER to find the stem, and I would add my ending. Yo leo, right? I read. So generally speaking, I read. I read at night when I go to bed or whatever, generally speaking. Okay. Everybody with me so far? See or no? Okay. The next tense that we should know is that one that we did, the present progressive. So again, I'm going to do leer, and I'm going to do yo, again, just as an example. And present progressive is things that I'm in the process of doing. So for this one, I would say yo estoy leyendo. Remember that, you guys? Give me a thumbs up if y'all remember that. Well, leer is an irregular, so we had to add the Y, leyendo, okay? And so this one is I am reading. Like right now as we talk, I am reading. So present progressive is like ing in English, okay? Another tense that we should know at this stage of the game, or that we can recognize at this stage of the game, should be the near future or the futuro próximo. Okay. Right. And that was something that I'm going to do tomorrow, next week, next year, or whatever. So if I'm still doing layer, I would need to say, I'm going to read. I'm going to read that article later. I'm going to read that book tonight, whatever. So I'm going to read, right, you guys? I'm going to read. Yo voy. I'm going to read. Remember that formula that we had where we had the three parts, right? Form of ear plus plus the infinitive, right? So I am going to read. Not doing it right now. I'm going. Okay. Then the next thing that we should be able to recognize, you guys, is our preterite or our past tense. Good morning, Malaysia. Malaysia, did you check your Canvas inbox by chance? Okay, so if I read something, okay, leer is an er verb, so I would say leí, right? And that's got to have that accent on it, which my computer won't allow me to do. So I'm just going to say yo leí, I read something. So we have those four tenses that we should be able to at least recognize or understand when we look at them. Okay. So I would go back up here and I would do escribir. Yo escribo. Yo estoy escribiendo. Yo voy a escribir, right? Yo escribí. I wrote. Okay. If I did chequear, which if you're just joining us, was our vocab tells us to check in our bags, and they give us the verb facturar. But in street Spanish, you are more likely to hear chequear, right? So chequeo, yo estoy checando, yo voy a chequear, right? Yo chequé. I checked in my bags. Okay. Any questions about what I'm talking about here? Any confusion about what I'm trying to get across? Give me a thumbs up if you're good. Okay. Arshad, you joined us late. Malaysia, you good? Okay. So now what I would like for you guys to do is head on over to Canvas. I like your hair, Malaysia. Head on over to Canvas, clase, and scroll, scroll, scroll until you hit formative. Formative. So we're still in Desafío dos. Click formative. Okay. Is it opening for you? I'm trying to get mine to open up again in a second. Well, I've lost mine. Well, mine disappeared. All right, let's see if I can open it from Canvas then. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at our instructions. Please read the instructions in the practice sheet very carefully. Only the resource library and Canvas modules to complete this, because this, in order for you guys to process, you have to do it on your own. You can't copy and paste from something else. Okay. All right. So here's what we've done. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go over the instructions. Okay. So I've given you 6 verbs, right? I gave you 2 examples of an AR, an ER, and an IR. Okay. You are to choose just one AR verb, one ER verb, and one IR verb. Okay. Just one of the 3 of this from each list. So I went ahead in A and I put in viajar. You can change that, whatever, if you don't want to use viajar, that is fine with me. So what you would do in this box, notice it says present tense, is whatever verb you choose. Let's say you choose viajar. You would put all of the forms in the present tense of viajar. O, ASA, almost on. Okay. And then choose one. And let's say you wanted to do tú. So tú viajas, right? You would just put tú viajas and then you travel. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes or no? Yes? You're just going to type it in here. Okay. Then you're going to come down here and do the same thing, present, but you're going to do it in a present progressive tense, a near future tense, and a preterite tense. Y'all with me here? Sí or no? Okay. Alrighty. So that is what we're working on today. When you type on this, right, your things should, let me try it here. Your boxes should be large enough. It's gonna let me text box. Yeah. So it's gonna allow you to do like yo viajo. And then if you chose comer, yo como. And then if you chose abrir, right? Yo abro. Are y'all following me so far? Sí o no? Yes? Okay. Because that's the only way to get all 3 of them in here. Okay. And if you didn't want to do it in Canvas, you know, you can always Cami it, or you can always just download the PD if that gives you more room, whatever works for you. Okay. So that's what we're working on today. Quietly, when you're done, submit it. I'm here to help you. All of your resources are in the modules. You have all of those visual guides. What is present tense? What is present progressive? You know, blah, 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 in the resource library. You have me. So make sure you have your resource library maybe open to all those visual guides to help you. And when you're done with this and you submit it, if there's still time, then feel free to work on any missing assignments. Marlasia, just a note, and Arshad, because you guys came in late, I'm going to send letters because it's almost the end of 3rd quarter, like I always do, to parents if your grade is 70% or less. So just a heads up on that one. Okay. Yeah, let me know if y'all need help finding something. We're getting started. I'll be happy to help. Yeah. I can indeed. Just remember that layer is going to be irregular, right? Brooklyn. How we doing? Okay. How we doing, you guys? Arshad? Are you about done? I can't tell from your screen. Hey guys, just FYI, we have about a minute left. So if you have a question for me, now's the time. Okay, give me a 3, 2, 1. How you feeling about this activity? Put it in the chat. I'm calling it a formative, and it's a formative because it's trying to gather everything we're supposed to know. Okay. So how you feeling about being able to complete it successfully? 3, 2, 1. Okay, Marlasia. Joe, Rashad, Brooklyn, how you feeling about completing it successfully? All right. Yep. Well, it's always all about practice, isn't that right? Okay, so real quick, tomorrow, when we come together, we're gonna start our vocabulary for our next section. Very few words. I think it was like 5 or 6 words at the most or something like that. And we'll practice those. And then hopefully we'll have some work time at the end of the hour tomorrow as well. Okay, you guys? So tomorrow's just a straight up easy vocab day. Okay? All right. Adios a todos. Have a great rest of your day. Nos vemos mañana. Reach out to me if you have a question. Okay, you guys? Adios. Have a great day.